Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo. Welcome to datingadviceguru.com and, of course, the Dating Advice Guru video podcast, which is all about, today anyways, 3 ways to get a guy, a lucky guy, to like you without being needy. Now, this comes from my mailbag, and it's an it's a direct answer to her question, but it's also indirectly important to you because of what I'm going to show you. Anyway, let me read her letter, and then we'll go into it, okay? She says, "Okay, Carlos, I've been working on me and listening to you." Hey, that's always a good way to approach it. Work on yourself and listen to me. You can never do wrong with that. "And I've improved my dating game. I'm meeting men, they are interested, but then in the early dating stage, the dates, romance, I lose them. But I'm learning, so I'm trying to catch my mistakes quickly this time. I purchased the soulmate signal and commitment programs. I broke the rules and I fell into traps before I got into them, but I didn't lose the guy yet. Initially, he wanted to see me every day. Then he backed off. No worries, I gave him some space. Thank you for that training. He came back all hot and heavy and talking, saying he wasn't seeing anyone else and all that. I thought, great, but it was too soon. I know now that I moved too fast in a relationship instead of letting them build over time. So I fell into the terrible statements like, you're different, I'm not interested in seeing anyone else, and I'm sure other things that I don't recall. We are back to the go away, come closer game, but I always just ignore it and give him his space. I really did learn something from you about that, and it works. He canceled our date, stating he unexpectedly had to have his son this weekend. Now, I took him at face value, didn't say anything other than, you're a great dad, but I wish I could see you. I know, it sounds needy looking back on it. He has texted intermittently since then, and we had some steamy texts as well, so I know he's still interested. Here's my question. I came off as needy and requiring a commitment instead of enjoying the romance and time together. How do I back off without making him think it is a punishment? That's an excellent question. It's the trickiest part of this is being able to pull back when you know you're too close and not make it look like you're pulling back or reprising on him. She says, how do I put the brakes on since we already said neither of us is seeing other people prematurely without jeopardizing the connection and the chemistry? I'd appreciate your advice on this because so far it's all worked. I have a fabulous guy on the hook. Well, of course my stuff works. Of course it works. Well, she says, I just have to know how to reel him in so the line doesn't break or he doesn't wriggle off that hook until I decide I need to move on or we can commit. Thank you. And that's from Barbara Lynn J. in San Antonio. Well, now isn't it cool how easily that fishing metaphor works for dating guys? We men are just like the fish and the same principles apply. Though I will confess I've never actually fished before. Shh, don't tell anybody on that one. So let's talk about baiting this guy into being your prized catch. First of all, you're already on the right track. You've got my soulmate signal program, so you've already got the jump on him. The toughest part about dating a guy is that you want to get close to him, and he wants to get close to you. Believe it or not. Yes, it's true. We do have the same intentions. But each person has their own fears about being run over in the relationship. And if a woman gets just a bit too close to him too fast, he might see this as being needy. And you know that needy thing is going to drive him off faster than garlic breath to a vampire. So what I want to give you are 3 ways to get a guy to like you and create intimacy without having to appear needy or play games with him. All right? Now, before we get started, I want to point out something that many women might not realize. You said we had some steamy texts as well, so I know he's still interested. Well, you may have had some hot texting going on, but he still needs to connect that fantasy woman that he's imagining in his head back to you. Remember, texting relies on the image he's created for you in his head. While he's seeing those texts on your phone, he's imagining you, all right? And that's what he's recalling when you both get caught up in your mad little sexting sessions. So remember to always pin that imagined woman in his head back to you so that he remembers that there is no substitute for what you and only you can make him feel. All right, really important. You want this guy to think that you're his soulmate after all, and that's going to wipe out any other woman from his mind. Now, let's jump right into the 3 ways you can get closer to this guy. Number 1 is get him to like you. Tip number 1, get him to open up to you. Now, if you really want this guy to desire you, you have to create a real emotional connection with him. Emotional intimacy is what will keep a guy invested in you for the long term. Let's face it, you may not be able to compete with a 20-something younger woman body or flawless skin that she's got. You have something even better that can lock a guy to you and make him monogamous for good, which is years of memories and emotional connection that you can create. Not to mention, knowing those secret places to touch him when you're in bed is, well, it's kind of a nice bonus too. Men feel a strong chemistry with a woman that they've been physically intimate with, but In order for that to develop into a strong emotional intimacy, you've got to get him to open up to you. You have to create a zone of safety around you and him that allows him to open up and tell you things that he won't tell other women. That's the true intimate bond between a man and a woman. Note, most women don't have a clue how to get men to feel this safe zone. I revealed to you, of course, in the soulmate signal. Now, there are 2 steps to emotional safety for him. Number 1 is you risk vulnerability by revealing your hopes, dreams, fears, etc., by trusting him first, and then reveal what's intimate to you. And then number 2, allow him to comfort and soothe you when you're down. All right? This is going to draw him into wanting to open up more to you. Get him to pull you into his heart. Tip number 2, stop whining. Did you cringe a little bit when you heard me say that? I like to be a little shocking at times, but I'm actually talking about a very specific kind of whining. Let me ask you this. Do you complain a lot, or do you reveal how you feel to him gently? The distinction here is going to make all the difference to you and your relationship. For example, a complainer/whiner will come home and talk at her man. At him, not to him. She will tell him everything that's going on, whether it's relevant or not. She'll dump all of her anxieties and issues on him like he's a landfill for bad emotions. Now, here's the other way to do it. Example number 2, an open woman will talk about her feelings with her man while checking in with him on occasion, making sure he isn't overwhelmed or overloaded. She checks in to see that her words are connecting with him and not confusing him even more. She knows when to stop and let him recover. And she doesn't build up resentment because he just isn't listening to me. She knows he's maxed out on his ability to deal with emotional talk for the moment. Yes, guys do reach a limit. Now, those are 2 very different ways to handle it. The woman who knows how to reveal herself to a man will get his goodwill and his love. The whiner will alienate and drive him away. How to get him to like you, tip number 3, is adore him physically. Touch him, caress him, adore your man physically. See, many women are afraid that they'll just be starting him up, meaning arousing him for sex, right? That's what you think you're going to end up doing. But the reality is that men crave physical affection more than most women do. And I'm talking about affection that is non-sexual. The reason goes back to how men are socialized. Most guys don't get a lot of physical affection after about 9 or 10 years old. He starts to disconnect from his parents more and more at about that age, and boys don't show physical affection to each other. Most of the time, it's physical roughhousing. And as he gets older and desires women, this yearning for close physical contact only deepens. Sometimes it even creates psychological issues for him, resulting in behaviors that you might find not only annoying but kind of creepy. If you've ever wondered why certain guys are so touchy-feely with women, maybe even inappropriately so, this is usually the cause. A man craves physical connection that he often can't satisfy. So when you do have a man in your life, touch him lovingly and frequently. Now, there are 2 kinds of touch. There's needy touch and there's giving touch. Needy touching is when a woman needs consolation and reassurance, so she's constantly tugging on him and pulling on him to be close. That's kind of needy touch. Giving touch is when she's pouring out love through her hands and her body, giving to make him feel good. It's like tactile appreciation, and guys know the difference between these 2 instantly. He'll pull back away from needy touch, and he'll feel a sense of smothering. This is what causes a lot of men to run. He does this because it's not the kind of touch he craves, and it steals energy from him, not replenishing it. When you touch a man in a way that seems to ask him to touch you back, that's what's known as needy touch. On the other hand, if you can just melt into contact with him, it'll feel like giving touch. Now, of course, if there's tension between you 2, it's hard to do this, so make sure you resolve the feelings of disconnection before you try and reconnect through physical contact. Remember, if you're mad at your man, you shouldn't force yourself to melt into his touch, but you shouldn't also jerk away like he's repulsive. That's bad too. That's emotionally bruising to a man. Just let him know that you need a little time. Then take that time, let it go, and then come back to giving and give him the touch that he really craves. Now, you asked me how you could back off from him now that you know that you came on a little needy, right? Once you figure out, oh my God, I'm coming on needy, you try to push him away, but unfortunately that can have the unintended effect of making him feel like he's being punished or scaring him off. Well, the truth of it is that you don't have to back off. You just have to change your direction a little bit. Sometimes backing off can be done without withdrawing at all. You simply have to use those 3 strategies I just told you about to get him to feel a new kind of warmth and love from you. Now, those tips do it. Those particular strategies, those love strategies, will do that without making you seem needy. In fact, it's also the complete opposite. He's going to feel a warm, nurturing love from you that he's going to want more of. And all you have to do is go home or just go to work that day, and the absence will make him start craving it again and craving you. Now, right about now, you might be wondering what these tips have to do with getting a man to like you more and desire you. After all, what do getting a man to open up to you, knowing when to stop whining to him, and loving him with your touch have to do with getting him to adore you? Shouldn't you be learning trick words that make him fall to his knees and worship you? Shouldn't I show you the one secret bitch tactic that will get him to love you more? Well, I could show you all those things and more, but they won't help you unlock his heart and make him really desire you the way you want. In fact, the kind of man you want to capture is not going to be tricked into love. You need to know how to get him to realize that you're the one for him. And that means you need to know the signal that will attract your soulmate to you. It's not about manipulative games or deception. It comes from a place of genuine, loving warmth inside you. Now, there's one signal that a man is looking for before he's going to let you into his heart, and it's called the soulmate signal. Do you know what that signal is and why he needs to see it? Well, you can find it and understand it completely by going on over to datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. That's datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. And you're going to discover exactly what the soulmate signal is and why it works so effectively to get a guy to open up to you. And, well, I hate to use the word because it feels like it's overused, but crave you. He will want you in his life and desire you simply by making him see that you are his soulmate. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. And I'll be talking again next time. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com.